Address 7980 Winwood Road in Trussville, Alabama. Claim number 0182 M as in Mike 425 Z as in Zulu. We're going to be attempting to repair this shingle right here for the obvious wind damage that was acknowledged by State Farm. This slope is extremely brittle, you know, so we're going to try our best not to damage any other shingles, but that's the purpose of this video, is to showcase how unrepairable this roof is. So I'm going to hand it off to my counterpart, and he's going to record me doing it. All right, so today we're going to be using a industry standard. You know what? I'm going to wait for that helicopter to go by. Inconsiderate. That's what I call that. All right. I think he's done. All right, we're going to be using a industry standard flat bar. We cannot use a roof snake. I mean, we could, but you know, the point of this video is to not cause more damage. And if you use a roof snake properly, it causes a hail-like impact when used properly on the shingle, so we don't want to cause any unnecessary damage. So I think flat bar is going to be just fine for this. I'm gonna go ahead and get started breaking the seal. There was a little bit of a lift right here, but the tar seal is still pretty stable right here, so we're gonna just break that a little bit. All right, so right here it is extremely brittle, and that tar strip is just glued down, so it is wanting to rip. I'm gonna try my best not to, but I do want to showcase this. So I can get it under right there, and I can get it under right there, okay? But when I go to do it, you can see the rip happening right there. I cannot get the pry bar underneath here. And I don't even, you know, even if I was using a roof snake, I guarantee you I probably wouldn't be able to do that anyways. Again, not using a roof snake because I don't want to cause any unnecessary damage. So I'm gonna try my best to take this off without damaging it. There we go. I was able to get it a little bit. So I'm gonna keep on working down this tar strip. And we got another rip right there. Right there. So again, trying to be super careful. It's just a very old roof, very brittle. All right, we got another rip right here underneath that tooth. All right, we're having some trouble right here. And there it went. Again, it's so brittle. On a newer, pliable shingle, you would not be able to do that. All right, so that's the shingle we're replacing. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking out, or I have to break the tar strip on the ones above it to get to the nails that fasten this shingle down. All right, now for the fasteners. All right, I do want to showcase this real quick. I don't know if I see it. All right, I do have a direct pull through on this nail here, if you can see that. It's just, I mean, you can still see the nail under there, right there. All right, so go ahead and get that taken out. So with that being said, direct pull through, I'm not going to be able to reuse that nail hole without causing any other unnecessary water intrusion points. I got another one. So that's 2 holes that I'm gonna have to re-drive because that nail didn't want to come out. That one was good. I can get that one out. Oh, nope, just kidding. I'm not surprised, are you? All right, I am actually surprised now. I was able to get that out with a direct pull through, without a direct pull through, rather. Make sure we can get underneath this one as well. All right, so right there on the corner of that shingle, we got some delamination, right? Delamination will inhibit the water shedding capability of this shingle. So now that, with that being said, I'm gonna have to replace this shingle as well. Okay, and subsequently every other one that has delamination. I haven't began to lift the shingles yet to drive the fasteners into the new shingle. When we do that, again, trying to be as careful as possible, I will try to not delaminate these shingles. But even with just a little manipulation I did right here, I mean, that's where that came from. So that's another rip. Again, it's, I mean, you just can't break this tar seal without damaging these shingles. Again, that, I mean, it's brittle and it's thin. So anything you use is going to be thicker than what this shingle is right now. Meaning you're not going to be able to adequately get this shingle separated without tearing it. That one was not a direct pull through. That was a direct pull through. So that's another unnecessary hole for a new fastener, creating a water intrusion point. I got one more, and right there we got some more tearing and delamination from where that fastener has been trying to get out. I mean, it's just destroying this roof just for a repair. Another direct pull through. And I want to state, these fasteners are not overdriven at all. I mean, they're not. Woo! Wow. Talk about scary. Good Lord. Another drip pull through. Good rule of thumb is not to lift the shingle above a 45-degree angle. I'm trying my very hardest not to. And I will continue to try my hardest not to when I go to drive the new fasteners in. But I will also say that without a clear hammer strike, it's not going to be an adequate repair. So I think that was it. I think that was all of them. Well, I was wrong. Another drip pull through. There it is. All right, well, just kind of took itself out. Now, if you want to hand me that shingle, I'm gonna use this as an example later on, but this is a just standard GAF HDZ charcoal shingle. We're gonna be going back with it. This is not going to suffice as a permanent repair, but rather a temporary one. Mainly because, I'll do it on this side so you can see it better, but if I line this shingle up exactly how it's intended to by the bottom of the headlap, you can see that the exposure is not only longer, but the shingle itself is longer. All right, so again, this is not going to suffice for a long-term repair. This is going to be a temporary one until we can come to an agreement on the replacement. So, which is really what this shingle needs, or excuse me, what this roofing system needs. All right, now, again, with that being said, I don't think they make these shingles, or rather the existing shingles, I don't think they make those anymore, or nothing on the market compares to what we can currently obtain. But let's get started nailing these fasteners back in. All right. Again, I'm going to try and not lift this shingle above a 45-degree angle to get these fasteners in. But I will not compromise a clean hammer strike to do so. I apologize. Fat fingers, tiny pouch. Yeah, what can you do? All right, first nail going in. All right, what do you know? I'm gonna have to lift the shingle higher. I cannot get a clear hammer strike with that. I mean, I can't. And even just now, without lifting it up, if you want to, I'll showcase some of that delamination we were talking about. The teeth are starting to separate from the actual backing plate of the shingle itself. Again, this whole shingle is now going to have to be replaced because it inhibits the water shedding capability of the shingle, which pretty much renders a shingle null and void. So again, I'm going to lift that up just enough to get a clean hammer strike. And you can see even with trying to get the nail in there, it's going in sideways. So there we go. All right, you can see that tooth right there is completely separated and delaminated itself. Again, having to lift up. Another thing is, that was already like that. That was the one from earlier from the flat bar. But, you know, I do also want to say on these older shingles, the headlap is much higher. So I do have to lift one above it much higher. Again, I'm cautiously trying to not damage the shingle above it, but as you can see, that's not working out very well for this hammer strike. Golly. So lastly, we're gonna do a compare and contrast. I'm gonna grab this shingle that we've already taken out. It was already acknowledged by State Farm, excuse me. All right, so when I wipe this shingle, right, you can see all the granules coming off, right? I'm wiping the new shingle, nothing is coming off, right? So now that I've had to lift these shingles up as high as I did, clear creasing in this shingle. Also very, very clear delamination. Again, inhibits the water shedding capability of the shingle. We've got some, we've got some tearing in the shingle due to how brittle it is. Need I say very much more? I'm gonna go ahead and deem this one a fail. And we're gonna be sending in a replacement